Keisha, things are not looking very good here at all. Can you believe that this was the road to a country club? Things are really heating up fast here tonight. The rain is coming down very hard. County officials say anybody in the direct path of this flood is in imminent danger. In fact, at 3 a.m. tonight, the river is expected to crest at least 49.1 or more inches. Now, at least 300 or so homes are said to be in the most at-risk areas in LaGrange. Most local businesses are closing down. We did find one hair salon today that was not just closing, but packing up everything from top to bottom to get it all to higher ground. A lot of community members jumped in to help before it was too late. Meanwhile, high water rescues are expected. Not everybody is going to leave as they have been told. The fire chief says if they stay, they are risking their lives. How worried are you that people won't leave?
Pretty worried. Some folks have waited too long out in the rural area, it's my understanding now, so we're going to have to deal with that.
Now, another major issue in all of these surrounding communities is where do people go? The hotels are filling up as fast as they can. Now, coming up tonight at 10, we're going to have another look at how things are shaping up here in LaGrange. And Keisha, it is not very good out here at all, as you can see.
When Major Crabtree retired from the Army a few years ago, he moved out here to the country to relax.
There's more grass to cut. You got to get it done.
Get away from it all.
Hunter, Savannah, and Molly, and so...
Molly?
Hunter, Savannah, and Bailey. I mix their names up.
Decompress.
Let me go see if I put my gloves in the house, and then we'll be ready to go.
How's that working out?
We bring some life to the country, I'll tell you that.
With 4 kids and their commitments,
I have swim practice.
lots of pets,
Trooper,
Scout,
Scout,
Sniper,
Sniper. What about the little one?
Shotgun.
Shotgun.
the livestock,
3 horses, 2 donkeys, and a cow.
and a never-ending list of chores. As you can see, there's not much relaxing going on. I wondered if it's always like this.
Like what? It's life. It's what we call it, I guess. It's life.
After 4 tours of duty in the heat of battle, Philip Crabtree may have left the Army. But it's clear the Army and all that he's experienced hasn't completely left him.
Did deploying to war change me? Absolutely. You know, how can it not?
That's one of the reasons Philip Crabtree took up leatherworking. It forces him to slow down.
I don't rush it because mistakes can't be taken back.
To concentrate on anything other than those things that so many soldiers have trouble forgetting. He sees some comparisons between himself and one of his multi-purpose tools.
And now as I think about it, I mean, that's kind of like being a soldier, I guess. You know, when you leave the military, when you leave the Army, you know, you can find another purpose for me. You know, I can find another purpose rather than serving as a soldier, even though I've loved it. So, you know, maybe this is the retooling of Philip Crabtree.
Philip Crabtree makes everything from cell phone cases to custom scabbards to saddles. Most of his clients are veterans, like Chris Skeeters, a bull rider who had him make these custom chaps, etched with the names of his battle buddies who didn't make it home.
So every time he gets on a bull and he wears those chaps, it's not just him riding. It's him riding with the memory of those guys. You know, it's like them riding on that bull with them.
Philip Crabtree knows he could charge a lot more for his work, but that's just something Major Crabtree would never allow. Besides, this is therapy.
We want to serve, and we don't want to stop when it's over.
Is this your way of serving?
Yeah. Yeah, because if it was about me, I'd charge a whole lot more money for this stuff.
Meanwhile, back on the farm, it's chaos as usual. But that's okay. Philip Crabtree is home.
Would you have it any other way?
Sometimes.
A small bouquet marks the shore of what was Caitlin Oliver's favorite place to swim. An outgoing girl who loved to dress like a princess had a flair for the dramatic, and was by all accounts a daddy's girl.
Marianne, I mean, that's her mom. Your mom's your mom. Everything was about Daddy, and he lived for her.
On Friday, Patrick Oliver didn't think twice about putting himself in harm's way to protect her.
Got one for EMS, 14190 West Adams Avenue, Temple Lake Park.
When the 4-year-old's swim in Lake Belton ended in a way no one could have imagined.
It's going to be for a man and a baby that were run over by a boat. It advises the baby is not awake or breathing at this time. Male possibly had legs amputated.
A houseboat backed over the 4-year-old. Her father jumped in to save her, only to have his legs get caught in the propeller. A bystander administered first aid, while emergency crews rushed to the scene and brought him back to life. Caitlin didn't survive.
Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
But their family is praying her father will.
Now and at the hour of our death.
5 days and 3 operations later, Patrick remains on a breathing tube under heavy sedation. When he came to, he asked for Caitlin.
He couldn't speak with the tube in his throat. The first thing he wrote was that he wanted to trade places with her.
While his Aunt Christine believes he will recover from the accident, she fears the worst trauma is yet to come.
And knowing that he tried to save her.
Meanwhile, the driver at the helm of the 50-foot boat has been charged with criminally negligent homicide. But Temple police tell News 10 this is still a very active investigation.
This isn't about that, and it's not about him.
Christine says they are focused on laying Caitlin to rest.
It's going to be a long haul.
And nursing Patrick back to health. In Temple, Tara Mergener, Kwtx, News 10.
You may notice more people than usual at the gym in the coming weeks.
And then towards the middle of the year, it starts, slowing down, and because a lot of people just fall off, or they just, I don't know.
I do see a lot of that January and February of every year of folks that hit it, are excited, and probably hit it too hard at the gym and end up overdoing it.
To avoid this, Dr. James Morsh says having an organized routine is key.
Be planned, be methodical, and start slow and slowly build up to what your body will tell you you can do.
Dr. Morsh says the national recommendation is 150 minutes of aerobic exercise each week. And once you find the workout for you, it's all about sticking with it.
The regularity of exercise is more important than the intensity or how hard you hit it. It's the boring repetitiveness and doing it as many day by day you can that really improves your health outcomes.
Dr. Morsh also recommends planning your meals in advance and avoiding crash diets.
Any workout is a good workout.
You'll see in time that your technique, you'll start moving faster. You're not so much tired as you were the first day. Just keep going, and the rest will just pay off.
Encouraging words for a healthy New Year lifestyle. In Killeen, Kathleen Suri, KWTX News 10.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. What'll we get started for you today? Thank you for choosing Starbucks. What'll we get started for you today?
It's hardly the voice you'd expect to hear when you put in a latte order.
And thank you guys so much.
But if you frequent the Hewitt Starbucks,
You're the guy that always answers this like, welcome to the Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know the drive-thru guy.
$13.95 it is, and here's that. There you go. Thank you, man. I would say about 1 in 5 people mention the voice in some way.
The man behind the microphone, Sam Gabriel, a Baylor alum with the manners of a maitre d'.
I only charge you for a tall. Is it okay if we give you this venti, ma'am?
And a voice.
There is a guy who always, the first thing he says when he drives up is, "Can you play something by Led Zeppelin for me?" How's it going, ma'am?
That's hard to ignore.
Oh, you should be on the radio. You should do announcing. You should do broadcasting.
Turns out a local radio executive who happened to pass through the drive-thru agreed. She got a shot of Java. He got a shot at an on-air job.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think that speaking into the Starbucks microphone, somebody would actually say, hey, this guy is good?
I never thought it would really happen, no. But it's cool that it did. This is Sam Gabriel, and I got Queen next up for you. Only in Waco would there be a radio station that would say, hey, you know what? That guy at the Starbucks, let's hire him. First up is the Michael Schenker Group, because I like the Michael Schenker Group. Armed and ready on 106.7, The Eagle.
And when you throw water on a candle fire, the result can be catastrophic. In this scenario, firefighters melt wax in a bucket and heat it up until it catches fire, simulating what can happen when a candle burns for too long. And you're going to show us now what happens if you try to put out a candle fire by throwing water on it. In an instant, flames shoot out of the container and consume the room. Well, Keisha, the river is rising very rapidly now. By 3 o'clock this morning, it could crest at more than 49 feet, and the result could be disastrous. The Colorado River swells inch by inch as the rain in Fayette County refuses to stop. Torrential rain and whipping wind pound the city. But those who stayed put to ride out the monster storm are relieved.
I was expecting a lot worse, but it's still pretty bad out there.
Hurricane Harvey made landfall last night. Here in Victoria, 24,000 customers woke up without power, and there's no telling when it will be back. And it's unclear when restaurants and other businesses will reopen. While the storm is weakening, Harvey could stick around for days. That means repairs to get Victoria up and running will have to wait.
When germs like bacteria come in contact with your mouth, nose, eyes, or broken skin, you can be exposed. We worked with the lab at Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest in Waco, testing 9 surfaces in the Kwtx home. The refrigerator crisper and shelves, remote controls, a light switch, bathroom sink handles, toilet push button, a laptop computer, cell phone, child's toy, and mom's purse. After 72 hours in the incubator, we got the results. And the most shocking? Enterococcus bacteria, the kind that lives in your intestines.
We talk about all the different bacteria that are in feces. You're looking at E. coli. Is pretty common that people are concerned with. Over here, it's going to be an Enterococcus, and that is a fecal bacteria that was present on the toy.
Yes, the toy car, and that surprised Mikey Upmore, who works in the lab at Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest. But that same bacteria was also in the refrigerator crisper.
On a few hundred acres in western McLennan County between McGregor and Crawford sits the Mill King Dairy Farm, a small herd of 60 or so happy cows. It's kind of hard to tell if a cow is happy, but they should be. This is kind of like a resort for cattle, and we know what they say about happy cows giving better milk.
We make sure everything here is grass-fed, and they come and go as they please. They come in when they want to get milk. They leave when they want to go back out under the trees.
And then I remembered that I have a fire extinguisher in my car. As my friend is calling 911.
911, what's the nature
nature of your emergency?
I grab my keys, run down barefoot, open up the trunk of my car, grab that fire extinguisher, and it took a second and a half of spraying that fire extinguisher, and it was gone.